Can someone really get addicted to the nicotine gum or lozenge? Yes, it happens. Quitters sometimes become addicted to the nicotine gum or lozenge. Nicotine is the insanely addictive substance that's naturally in tobacco. It's a key reason why tobacco products, electronic cigarettes, and anything that contains nicotine is so addictive. Nicotine is one of the most addictive drugs on the planet. The goal in using nicotine replacement products, NRT, is to help you quit tobacco. It's not super common, but sometimes quitters find it hard, in particular, to stop using the nicotine gum or nicotine lozenge after they've quit tobacco. Some quitters develop a reliance on these quit smoking medications and find it hard to stop using them. It's recommended to use nicotine replacement products for 8 to 12 weeks when you're working to quit tobacco. Some research suggests that it's beneficial to stay on NRT for longer than 12 weeks to achieve success in quitting. But 8 to 12 weeks is generally what most clinicians recommend. If you decide to stay on NRT longer than 12 weeks, consult with your doctor. It's important they're aware of your plans and know what you're putting in your body. Talk to your doctor to see if staying on NRT for longer than 12 weeks is going to be the best option for you. Your doctor knows your health the best. Quitters are more likely to get addicted to the nicotine gum or lozenge rather than the patch, inhaler, or spray. The 5 Food and Drug Administration approved NRT quit smoking medications currently on the market are the nicotine patch, gum, lozenge, spray, and inhaler. When people quit tobacco, it's more likely they become addicted to the nicotine gum or lozenge rather than the other NRT products. Disclaimer: I'm not aware of any specific data or scientific studies on the topic of NRT addiction, so I'm relying on my 10 years of experience in the tobacco cessation industry. I've supported thousands of quitters on their journey to quit tobacco over the years. I've spoken to many quitters myself who shared their stories of becoming addicted to the nicotine gum or lozenge, or knew someone who developed a reliance. I'm also relying on testimonials from other tobacco cessation health coaches and other leaders in my field to support my claim that quitters are more likely to become addicted to the gum or lozenge than other NRT products. In my experience in tobacco cessation, I've heard very few stories of people getting addicted to the nicotine patch, spray, or inhaler. It's not as common to get addicted to those products as quitters who become addicted to the nicotine gum or lozenge. I've found 5 reasons why people are more likely to get addicted to the nicotine gum or lozenge instead of other NRT products. Number 1. Flavor options with nicotine gum and lozenge. The nicotine gum and lozenges come in different flavors such as cinnamon, fruit chill, mint, and spearmint. These flavors are part of their appeal and can contribute to why people become addicted. The other NRT products don't come in different flavors. Quitters used to complain about how the nicotine gum tasted nasty and was dominated by the peppery nicotine flavor. The NRT manufacturers, I believe, took that feedback and worked to improve the taste of the nicotine gum and lozenges. There's now several flavor options for quitters to choose from. At my company, one of our clients used to offer cappuccino-flavored lozenges. Our participants constantly requested this flavor over any other options available. The cappuccino lozenges were so popular they were frequently on back order. We'd hear complaints about how long it'd take to receive them in the mail. The cherry lozenges were popular as well, but not on the same level as cappuccino-flavored lozenges. The various flavor options make the nicotine gum and lozenge more desirable. Number 2. Nicotine gum and lozenges are faster acting than the nicotine patch. The nicotine patch is a passive means of receiving nicotine. You place the patch on a skin site on your body, usually the upper arm, and continue on with your day. On average, it takes 30 to 45 minutes before the nicotine gets in your bloodstream and you're able to feel the effects of it. If you're experiencing intense nicotine cravings and withdrawals, the nicotine from the gum and lozenge will help faster. The nicotine enters the skin and mucous membranes of your mouth, gets into your bloodstream, and heads straight to your brain. The gum and lozenge provides more instantaneous relief from cravings and withdrawals than the nicotine patch. Number 3. People enjoy putting things in their mouth. There's an oral fixation piece to the tobacco addiction that quitters oftentimes need to address when quitting. For example, when you quit smoking, it may feel strange not to bring a cigarette up to your lips. You may find it helpful to replace the cigarette with straws, toothpicks, pencils, hard candy, or food. Nicotine gum and lozenges are other tools to keep your mouth busy and help address the oral fixation. If you stick the nicotine gum or lozenge into your mouth for longer than the recommended 8 to 12 weeks, it can potentially contribute to dependence. Number 4. You don't need to obtain a prescription for the nicotine gum and lozenge. You have to go through your doctor to obtain a prescription to use the nicotine spray and inhaler. It takes time on your part to schedule an appointment with your doctor to get that prescription. Nicotine gum and lozenges can simply be purchased over the counter at grocery and drugstores. If you're 18 years of age or older, you can walk into a Costco, Walmart, Meijer, Kroger's, King Soopers, CVS, Rite Aid, etc., and purchase yourself a box of nicotine gum or lozenges. It's much more convenient to obtain the nicotine gum and lozenge than the nicotine spray and inhaler. I believe if the nicotine spray and inhaler were available for purchase over the counter without a prescription, there'd be many more quitters getting addicted to those products as well. Number 5. Nicotine is a stimulant and provides some psychoactive benefits. There's some benefits in using nicotine other than providing relief from withdrawals and cravings that keep the user coming back for more. For example, nicotine can help improve concentration, attention, and short-term memory. When you use nicotine, your mind is a bit sharper, focused, and alert. It can provide you a little burst of energy as well. There's even some research that has demonstrated it can help with Alzheimer's and give the aging brain a boost. These benefits contribute to nicotine's appeal. Use of nicotine is not without risk. Although straight nicotine from the gum or lozenge is much safer than using tobacco, it's not ideal to remain on nicotine for an extended period of time. There's risk involved in using nicotine. Nicotine is a stimulant that has an impact on your cardiovascular system. It can raise blood pressure and put strain on your heart. If you have high blood pressure or a heart condition, it may become an issue to use too much nicotine. This is another reason why you always want to speak with your doctor before using NRT products. Some studies on the use of nicotine have even demonstrated a link to oral cancer, which is a little scary. As additional studies are conducted in the future, we'll learn even more about the long-term impact of using nicotine products. NRT products aren't inexpensive. Another reason why it's not a good idea to form a dependence on the nicotine gum or lozenge is because these products aren't cheap. Most insurance companies won't cover the cost of NRT beyond a limited period of time. You're likely stuck covering the bill if you use NRT long term. The nicotine gum and lozenges are cheaper than cigarettes, of course, but not as cheap as not using them at all. If you shop around, you can find sales on NRT products as well as coupons. But even with that savings, purchasing NRT regularly can add up to a significant monthly expense. It's much easier on your purse if you simply purchase regular non-nicotine gum or sugar-free candy to keep your mouth busy. I'm addicted to the nicotine gum. How do I get off of it? Nicotine is very addictive, and you can get hooked to the nicotine gum or lozenge when you quit tobacco. If you've developed a dependence, there's some general strategies you can follow to achieve your freedom. The general idea with these taper down strategies is to gradually cut down on the nicotine gum or lozenge. It's not a good idea to quit cold turkey all at once without reducing first. For example, if you're going from 20 4 milligram strength lozenges per day down to 0, that'll be a significant jolt to your body. If you don't reduce first, the withdrawals are going to be nasty. Here's 4 strategies to help taper off the nicotine gum or lozenge. Number 1, set a quit date. The first step is to set a quit date. Just as you set a quit date to quit smoking, consider setting a target quit date that you can plan to break free of the nicotine gum or lozenge. Put the quit date a few weeks in the future so you have time to prepare. Don't put the quit date so far off into the future that you'll end up forgetting about it. If you can choose a date that is meaningful, such as your kid's birthday or an anniversary, that may help with accountability. Your quit date will be the first day you completely stop using the nicotine gum or lozenge. Number 2, reduce usage prior to quit date. Prior to your quit date, focus on gradually tapering off the NRT product. Taper down on how many pieces of the nicotine gum or lozenge you use per day. For example, if you use 20 lozenges per day, try only using 15 per day for 1 week. Then the next week, cut down to 10. The following week, reduce down to 5. A few days prior to your target quit date, try to get down to as few lozenges as possible before you quit completely. This work you've put into reducing will help you minimize the severity of the withdrawals you'll experience when you stop using on your quit date. Number 3, taper down on the length of time you use each piece of the gum or lozenge. Another tapering strategy is to cut down on how frequently you use each piece of nicotine gum or lozenge. For example, if you chew the nicotine gum for 30 minutes per piece, try to only chew it for 25 minutes and then take it out of your mouth. Chew each piece of the gum for 25 minutes and stay at that amount of time for a few days. When you're ready, cut it down to 20 minutes, then 15 minutes, and so on. Apply a similar approach to using the lozenge. If you're generally using each lozenge for 30 minutes, tomorrow use it for a shorter period of time. Keep an eye on the clock, and at 25 minutes take the lozenge out of your mouth and put it in the trash. Substitute the lozenge for a piece of hard candy or a sucker. When you've got a handle on that reduction step, taper down further and use the lozenge for only 20 minutes. Continue this taper down process gradually from there, leading up to your quit date. Number 4, step down to a lower strength nicotine gum or lozenge. Another step down approach is to reduce the dosage of the NRT you're using. If you're using the 4 mg strength gum or 4 mg lozenge, another strategy is to step down to the 2 mg strength. This isn't necessarily what's recommended to do if you're quitting smoking, but if you're addicted to the gum or lozenge, this can be a helpful strategy to cut your dependence. Once you've reduced the 2 mg strength, you can even break the lozenge in half, so you only consume 1 mg per dose. The lozenge is easier to break in half than the gum. You can even use one of those pill cutters to cut the lozenge into 2 pieces. Action steps on your NRT quit date. When your nicotine gum or lozenge quit date rolls around, stock up on some substitutes. Replace the nicotine with jelly beans, Altoids, raisins, sunflower seeds, or another substitute that you enjoy. Drink a lot of water. Attack the day and stay as busy as possible. Apply some of the techniques and strategies you use to quit tobacco to eliminate the nicotine gum or lozenge from your life. Though quitting the nicotine gum and lozenge is hard and painful, if you have a smart plan that you're committed to following through with, it's certainly achievable. If you have the strength to quit tobacco, you have what it takes to quit NRT as well. Be careful not to replace the nicotine gum or lozenge with a new unhealthy dependence. You need to be careful not to develop a new unhealthy addiction when you quit the nicotine gum or lozenge. It's not a good idea to be addicted to anything that can potentially harm you. Maybe you have an addictive personality, which got you hooked to cigarettes and the nicotine gum or lozenge in the first place. If you quit the nicotine lozenge, you don't want to form a new dependence on junk food alcohol, electronic cigarettes, or something else that isn't good for you. It's okay to get addicted to reading, exercising, drinking water, or vegetable juice. But you don't want to replace nicotine with something that's going to damage your mind, body, wallet, or relationships. You can apply a similar taper-down strategy that you use to get off tobacco and nicotine gum and lozenges to quit other substances. Maybe you replace the nicotine lozenge with something unhealthy, so now you have to deal with that. If you went from your smoking addiction to an addiction to the nicotine gum, and then replaced the gum with something else, there is a silver lining. The positive side is that you have new skills you've learned. You now have some tools in your toolbox that will help you move forward to get whatever that thing is out of your life. For example, since you quit the nicotine lozenges, you're now eating bags of Skittles all day long. From the time your feet hit the floor in the morning to the time you go to bed at night, you have Skittles tucked away in your cheek. You're not smoking cigarettes or chewing nicotine gum anymore, but you're now buying large boxes of Skittles at Costco. First step, get out your calendar and set your sights on a Skittles quit date. Leading up to that target quit date, apply similar taper-down techniques to get off the Skittles. In regards to tapering off the Skittles, you have options. You can cut down one bag or individual Skittle at a time, or you can try eliminating certain colors first. If you go the colors route, there's 5 colors in a bag of Skittles you'll have to work through one at a time. You can stop eating the delicious red ones first. After a few days, stop eating the purple ones, and then on to the green ones after that. Quit your favorite colors first by throwing them in the trash, since those will be the hardest ones to let go of. Wrap up those Skittles in a used diaper or put them down your garbage disposal so you're not tempted to go chase after them. After you've adjusted to not enjoying the delicious red Skittles for a while, eat only your least favorite colors. Finally, on your Skittles quit date, quit the rest of the rainbow altogether. You've got this! Using nicotine replacement therapy for a long period of time is better than using tobacco. In all seriousness, do your best to keep things in perspective. If you're addicted to the nicotine gum or lozenge, but not using tobacco, that's a superior position to be. Try not to get too down on yourself for having a hard time getting off nicotine. You're still conquering the tobacco addiction, which is great and something to be proud of. It's better to have an addiction to the nicotine gum or lozenge than to smoke cigarettes. Tobacco has thousands of chemical compounds, and using it as intended can and will kill you. Using the nicotine gum for the rest of your life is not as harmful as inhaling burnt tobacco smoke. It's truly the lesser of two evils. Questions: have you ever been addicted to the nicotine gum, lozenge, or one of the other NRT products? For how long? What did you do to break your dependence? How'd you achieve your freedom? Were the Skittles ever a problem? Let me know.